Hello everyone. In the last video, I have talked about how to create a title, how to create sections, and I have talked about how to create labels. So now let's go ahead and learn more about LaTeX. So we have created sections, and let's say we are working with some book or let's say some report. In usual article, we don't require a table of content, but for our reports or a book, we require a table of content. So let's go ahead and see how to create a table of content. Okay, now right after we create our title, we want to show the table of content right here. The great thing about LaTeX is that it automatically creates table of content. So we're just going to write / table of contents. Okay, and we are going to recompile it, and here you go. There is our sections, and you can see the page number where we can find our sections. And now we are on the first page, so we are not seeing any other page number. Okay, so this is simple as this. Okay, now let's say we want to just keep the table of contents on the first page and we want all the sections to go to the second page. So what we're going to do here is that we are going to create a new page. So we're going to write / new page. Okay, and let's recompile, and voila, everything below the table of content is gone to the second page, and we can see here that the sections we created is now on page 2. And making table of content is easy as this one. So now we're going to work with fonts of our text that we are going to write. Okay, so let's say we want to do some effects on our fonts. So it's very simple. Let's say we want to make an italic text. We're going to write \text it or text it. Okay, and whatever we write inside the bracket, it will be in the italic format. Okay, let's say this is italic text. Okay, and let's say we want to create a bold font. Okay, so let's write text BF, which stands for bold font, and we are going to write this is bold text. Okay, so now let's try another format. Let's say write text and text SC, and we write here this is SC. Okay, now let's say we want to make a text big. Okay, so we're going to write /big. Okay, and whatever we write after that, and big doesn't actually have any bracket, so we're going to put a bracket before big, and we're going to put another ending bracket after big. Okay, and whatever we write after big, it's going to be in a big font. Okay, so let's say this is big. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, so we want to create large text. Okay, large is actually bigger than big. Okay, so it's goes like this, large, and let's type this is large. Okay, let's try another. Let's put a bracket and \, and we're going to type huge. Okay, and huge is actually larger than large. Okay, so this is huge. So now let's go ahead and recompile it, and we can see here that the first line is in italic font, the second one is bold font, the third one is in a font which is SC font actually, and the fourth one is big, and the next line is large, and the last line is huge. Okay, so we can use these formats to format our text. Okay, next we're going to see how to create lists. So we're going to create a list, let's say a list with numbers. Okay, so it goes like this, \begin, and inside the bracket we're going to write enumerate. Okay, so enumerate, what does it do? That it actually creates a list with numbers, and we can see it automatically have here a tag which is \item, and before every item we're going to have the tag. Okay, so let's write item 1 and then another \item. This is item 2, another item, this is item 3. Okay, now if we recompile it, we'll see a list with numbers, just like this. Okay, so let's say we don't want a numbered list, but we want a bullet list. Okay, so for that we're going to write \begin, and inside the bracket we're going to write itemize. Okay, and here let's type item 1 item 2. Okay, and recompile. Yeah, so it created a bulleted list. Now that we have learned about making lists, we're going to learn about making comments. And making comments in LaTeX starts with a %sign, and whatever we write after that is going to be a comment. Okay, let's say this is our comment. Okay, so comment is actually used for specifying our sections, and it's not going to be printed in our final document. Okay, so now if I recompile this one, we'll not see this text in our PDF. Okay, because this is a comment. We can only see this inside our source code. Okay, so this is our comment, and now let's learn about special characters. So LaTeX is very useful for printing or writing special characters. Let's say we are working on an article where we have to write equations and we have to write Greek letters. So for that we can just simply put a $, and inside the $signs we can write \, and let's say we want to write alpha. So we're just going to write alpha. Okay, and if we want gamma, then we are going to write a \, gamma. Okay, and if I recompile, we will see alpha and gamma. Okay, so I think, okay, let's make it bigger. Yes, here we can see alpha and gamma. Okay, so this is our special characters, and whatever character we want, we just put $, and \, and we write the name of that sign. Okay, so it can be beta, it can be theta. Okay, and there are many signs that we are going to learn on the way. Okay, so we're not going to spend too much time with it. So let's go to our next topic, which is tables. Okay, so now we're going to work with tables. Okay, let's create a section and tables. Okay, in the section now we'll work with tables. So we want to create tables, and the starting tag goes like this. Let's say \begin, and we're going to write here tabular. Okay, so tabular, and there we can see an extra bracket here, and the bracket stands like this C, and the sign which is normally found above the key of enter in our keyboard, and this is actually making separate cells for it. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, let's say it's our number 1 cell, it's 2, okay, then our 3 and 4. Okay, and this /2/ actually making a new line. Okay, let's say a new row in our table. Okay, so if we recompile this one, we have this output. So this is actually not a perfect table, but this sign here actually creating the border here. Okay, so if I copy this and paste it before C and after C, let's see what happens here. So as you can see, this is actually creating our borders, but there is no horizontal line. Okay, so for that we actually have to create horizontal line. So let's type H line. Okay, and after that \H line, and we need another horizontal line above. Okay, so it goes each line. Okay, and recompile. So there is an error. I think we need 2/ here and compile. Yeah, okay, so we actually need 2 backslash after every line here. Okay, so that's how we create a table. This is just a simple table, okay, but let's say we are working for an academic paper or something else. We need a actually fine looking table which is gonna be in the middle of our document, and it will have a caption. For that, what we're going to do is write backslash begin, and inside the bracket we're going to write table. Okay, and here we can see a square bracket actually. So inside that we're going to write h, and what does that h do is that it actually prints the table where we are actually putting it in the source code. Okay, so what happens in LaTeX that it moves the tables where it will look best for the document, but we don't want the LaTeX to do that sometimes, so we're going to just force it to be where we are putting it in the source code. Okay, so that's why we're putting an h here, and this code is actually centering the table, and then we have our tabular which we used here. Okay, and here we can see our C, which stands for column, and we need another symbol here for our column bars or border, let's say, and where we need a horizontal line before that, and we will write h line, and we'll write 1, 2. Okay, so now we're actually working with only 2 columns. Let's add another column, C. Okay, and we need and 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and now we need horizontal line in the middle of here, h line, and we need another horizontal line after that, h line, and here we can see the caption. Okay, so let's write here that this is our table. Okay, and here we can see the label that we have discussed in the previous video, and let's say tab, we can put 1 here, so identify this is our table number 1. And now if we recompile this, we'll see our table. So here is our table, which is in the middle of the document, right? This is actually going to be better if we put some text below that table. Okay, now we can see table 1, which is our label, and we can refer to the table in our documents. That is how we create table. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video.